Jason and Jabari. Jason and Jabari.
What's up, guys? This is Jason from the Jason and Jabari Gaming, and today we are going to be talking about the Wheel of Fate. If you guys notice, I do have the profile picture icon. I did finish the Wheel of Fate 100% on day one. But man, guys, we got to talk. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to cover for you guys, because you guys know I like to be as honest and as transparent with you guys as possible, and the first thing that I want to share with you guys is you can only use 7 stars. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys that I have, if you see this filter over here, I'm gonna hit add tag just so you can see the filter above it. I have 177 7-star champions. And I do understand that this is not everyone's experience with the game, and they definitely don't have all the options that they probably need to have. So the first thing that I'm going to advise to you guys is to take your time on this content. And if you don't want to take your time on this content, you are going to need a substantial revive. You're going to need substantial revives because some of the fights, the limited options that you have, which we're going to try to go over, it's going to be an awful time. I was actually limited to using some rank 1s on various fights, guys. I have 66 rank 3s and I have 10 rank 4s. I'm not going to show who, but you guys could probably see it anyway. So that's the first thing. Some of the fights I didn't bother putting on relics. You can do that. That is an option. That's definitely a smarter move than what I did. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys before I get into the actual stage and showing you guys everything is, all right, my revive counters are very low right now, but starting out on this quest, for instance, this one that I started using the team revives because I had like 60 something of these. Total count overall, I had over 200 something revives, guys. So I was fully prepared. And then on top of that, I had about 500 of those green energy things that I ended up popping open. So now I have stuff expiring, potions expiring. See, I have 45 of those. 91 of those. So I was fully ready to tackle this content. Okay, and there's no shame in waiting. And the next strategy that I would tell you guys to implement is I watched Stonehenge and I watched Truth Comics. Shout out to my homies, they know they're my brothers. But I was at work doing it, so I use a reference. Basically, the guides sometimes don't help everybody because you don't have that champion to utilize, right? So anyway, those are the biggest pieces of advice I have, you guys. Take your time. If you're not going to take your time, have a very healthy revive stash counter readily available, and I do mean a lot, whatever that means to you. I told you guys I had over 200, and I use so many. I use so many. That's part of being a pioneer of this game, guys. You don't know until you know, right? So anyway, and yeah, use references, use guides. Those things help as well, but sometimes it won't cater specifically to you, especially with this content, which is very specific to specific champions you can use on fights. Now, let's get into it. Let's first get over there to the Wheel of Fate. All right, so you guys see it. It is a cool profile picture icon. It is great artwork design. As you guys can see, it's 100% explored. Now, there are 3 quests, so we're gonna go quest by quest, and we're just gonna pop into them. I'm gonna go for preview, and let's see if they give us the options. All right, so the first option is champions restricted to 2024 in the first one. for here, you can go to your tags list. And I just went to 2024, and then we'll talk about who I used briefly. And these are, again, guys, these are my options. That doesn't mean that they're yours. I use Count Nefaria. Okay. He was my MVP for that fight in the first section, but you do have options. Okay. So after that, you go to here, and yeah, we're going to do it like this. This is so much easier. After that, for the Dazzler, I use Penny Parker. Okay. She worked very well for me. Again, this is my experience. If they don't work well for you guys see there's other options. For me, every option in every quest, I had at least 5 options. They all might have been not good options, but that's what I'm saying. I know a lot of people, you might only have 1 or 2, and definitely scout out and plan your paths, guys, because you might accidentally use a champion you need for later on, and then you absolutely are going to be SOL for real. So bear that in mind. Who is this for the what is her name? Dang it, I cannot think of her name. It escapes me. For Lady Deathstrike, I ended up using who did I use for Lady D? Oh, Nova for Lady D. And then for the what's her name? Jesus, I can't think right now, guys. I just woke up, so bear with me. Enchantress. For the Enchantress fight, I went Onslaught. For the Thor fight, I went who did I end up using for Thor? Oh, Vox. I used Vox for Thor. For Arcade, I ended up using I should have used Vox there, but I didn't. Instead, I ended up using Void. Yeah, I used Void for Arcade. Slow fight, I revived on primarily all of these. I did get some solos. I don't think it's really necessary to call out which ones. I mean, I don't remember at this point, but I did use Black Cat for leader. I did get a solo there. For Bullseye, I used Sinister. I got a solo there. For this Human Torch, I used Stark Enhanced Spider-Man. That was a couple of revives. For Serpent, I used Spiral. That was a solo. For Spiral, I used Deathless She-Hulk. That was a couple of revives, I think. 1 or 2, I believe. I used Ironheart for Dust. That was a solo. And then for Thanos, I used Sunspot. Okay. So that's the first time. Now, the good thing about these quests, guys, they're the exact same. Literally, there's no changes to the defenders whatsoever. You fight the same amount of defenders. You fight the same exact defenders. The only thing that changes is the hashtag tags and the champions that you can use. So we're moving on to the middle path. Same defenders, same everything, which I thought was good. And it says you need a medium defensive utility. Okay, so here I know exactly who I used, and it was terrible. It was so god awful. I hated it. It literally took me 20 something revives to do this, and that's because you're so limited to the defenders that you can use, right? So I used Wong here, and I think the only other champion that I saw people using was what's his name, Mr. Negative, for this gore, and he is so awful. He just kept healing. He just kept healing. It was a terrible time. And until you get the Wong rotation down where you're able to deal with the burst damage, and until you know how to dex the SP2 or at least dex out of it, you're not going to have a fun time. And this is one of the fights that people are probably super pissed about. I know I was irritated to no end, but I just knew I was gonna do it, so I just got through it. But it was exhausting fighting that guy. Anyway, moving on. I used Dust this time for Dazzler. That didn't go as well because I got cornered a lot of times, but we got it down. The next time I think I used Medusa. I got the solo on Lady D there. That was a great time. Then I used Captain America Infinity War for Enchantress, and I think that was a few revives. I know how to fully dex her SP1. Her specials are unblockable. It's actually 4 dexes for the SP1. Once you get the timing on it, it's not as bad. I don't know how to dex the SP2. You're just gonna eat that, or you're just gonna deal with the SP1s. But it was still fine for me. Next up against Thor, I used Hyperion. That was super simple. I got the solo. And then against Arcade, I ended up using Serpent and got the solo. That was super simple. I actually do that in battlegrounds all the time anyway, so it was fine. Next up against Leader, I ended up using Bullseye. That was a couple of revives. Then against Bullseye, I ended up using Cyclops, and that was like 4 revives because the damage was just so substantial. I just had no way to heal it back, and I just wasn't dexing his SP1 intentionally. So yeah. And then I ended up using Red Hulk, and that was a couple of revives against Human Torch, because he can get his Nova Flame on. So you guys be very aware of that. Even though you'll ramp up quickly, you also can give him unwanted energy damage to the point where you get a couple Nova Flames, you're dead. And my Red Hulks are rank 1, by the way. I should be calling that out, I guess. All right, for Serpent, I ended up using Chavez, and we got the solo there. Classic Battlegrounds fight for me. For Spiral, I ended up using Luke Cage and used like 2 or 3 revives. For Dust, I ended up using Sunspot, I believe. Yeah, I used Sunspot this time. And then lastly, this was awful. I used Rocket, who is rank 1 for this Thanos, because he ramps up when you hit a lot. But man, the inverted controls and everything, it was an awful time. I did like, I don't know, probably 10 revives on this fight, and maybe a little bit more. But yeah, it was an awful time for me. Just couldn't get it going. And I didn't use a relic either. But yeah, so you learn from our mistakes, guys. Learn from our mistakes. All right, and then we have the last path. And you have, let's see what we have. 2014. Okay, yep, I know exactly who I used. All right, so this was the opposite of an awful time. It was a great time. And I used Juggernaut, and we destroyed this Gore here. We absolutely demolished him. We got the solo. It was a fun time. Next up, I used Serpent, and we got the solo on Dazzler. It was a fun time. Next up, I used Null against Lady D. Got the solo. It was a fun time. Then I used Photon versus Enchantress. I think I died 1 time. And then I used Medusa versus Thor. I died a few times there. And then I used Hitmonkey because that was my best option, who is rank 1, by the way. My only rank 2 in this option is Elsa. And I just chipped him down. I died a considerable amount of times because I kept messing up the SP1 decks. And then against the Leader, I used Sentinel. Arguably, I probably should have used a Red Skull or somebody. But you can look ahead, by the way, on which champions you need. So that's a good thing, guys. That's a very good thing. Utilize that. Yeah, but Sentinel did fine-ish. I accidentally went to my SP3 in the first fight. So it was kind of bad from there. So I think I took about 3 or 4 times. But we got him down. And then I used Okoye for Bullseye. I got the solo there. And then I used Luke Cage for Human Torch, and I think it took 1 or 2 times. Didn't get the solo. 1 or 2 revives is what I mean, to be clear. And then I used Kushala for Serpent and got the solo. And then I used Gentle for Spiral and took 1 or 2 deaths there. And then I used Werewolf by Night and chipped down Dust. It was 4 or 5 revives or something because the sandstorm kept getting me, which was fine. At this point, I was so over it and I was already seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I had plenty of revives, plenty of pots, and I was just like, pretty much like, I'm just gonna drop them. And then last one, I got the solo using America Chavez against Thanos. So yeah, man, ultimately, I am not a fan of this at all because I think it's too restricting. The second time, so the second quest, whatever that one is called, was probably the most challenging for me personally when it came to my roster. So Comes Around was the most challenging. The first one, it was slightly challenging. The third one was probably the easiest for my roster development. And this solely depends on your roster. You can, but you probably don't have enough resources to rank up everybody. So that's another reason why I'm saying just take your time. The rewards are great, but don't let the rewards put you into a predicament that you don't want to be in. So now I'm going to transition over to the opening. So I'll be right back. Okay, we are back, guys. This is just me going over all 3 times that I completed each quest. So you saw Sunspot was the first one. As I said there, I'm going to be picking up Mutant Catalyst because I still want to take up Betsy Braddock. I didn't quite have enough to get her to rank 3, and I think for this for the current Battlegrounds meta, she's probably one that I want to put in my deck for right now. That could be subject to change. I even went above and beyond for you guys to get an additional Titan Crystal. So you're welcome there. I think in this opening, I end up opening 3 Titans. So we're going to get to that point. But here's the second initial completion with Rocket, by far the worst option, in my opinion, unless he's decently, ranked. Mine was a rank 1. I was not ranking these champions that I'm not going to be playing for this content. I had plenty of health pots and plenty of and plenty of revives just to power my way through it, so to speak. So there we get a regular Titan. We get some more shards for an awakening gem, which I will share my thoughts on what I'm looking for, and I do open that as well when I get to it. But for some reason here, I end up opening up the Titan. I am looking for a Jean Grey dupe. I'm looking for a Yelena dupe. I'm looking for a Spider-Woman dupe. I'm looking for a Zola. I will take a Gallon dupe, but that's it. That's the only things that I'm looking for here. And it ends up landing on a Red Hulk. And that's sad because we got so many Red Hulks in our opening, and now we got this dude again. I did use Red Hulk, a rank 1 Red Hulk versus Human Torch, but I'm not going to do anything with him. So that was disappointing. That was super sad, but it happened. And then I opened up this little Nexus 7-star, just wanting some useful SIGs on my rank 3s, but Domino is SIG 200, Odin is rank 2, Elsa is rank 2, so I just decided to get Elsa to SIG 200. Even though I don't use her in AQ anymore, she's still a fun champion, so getting her to SIG 200 would just get us more Titan shards. By the way, I am done with the Titans, guys. I am completely done. I'm saving for the next Titan, so I won't be opening up any more unless of course it comes like with a deal or something. Like for the 4th, if there's Titan crystals involved, then I'll open those, right? That's the only exception. Okay. But anyway, there's Chavez. I did get the solo with Chavez. She was by far the easiest. Like I said, I think the 3rd quest for me, ultimately I got the most solos, and it was the better time for me personally. All right, so out of the selector here, I'm gonna go back and then go over my options and show you guys. Gore is rank 2, SIG 120. Dazzler is SIG 60. Lady Deathstrike is SIG 40. Enchantress is SIG 40. She's rank 3. Arcade is rank 3, level 60. I don't have the leader, so I could grab him for the first time. My bullseye is level 40, rank 3. My serpent is rank 4, level 200. My spiral is rank 3, sig 124. Dust, rank 3, sig 60 or 80. I didn't see it. And there's a Titan Nexus, which is what I'm ultimately grabbing because I want to dupe one of those champions that I have, one of those ladies, or possibly Gallon, or get Zola for the first time. So also, there's a profile pic that I'm going to be putting on. I didn't know where it was, so maybe like a quality change, life change, is that Kabam can when you get a new profile picture icon and or a new emote, even though I don't use emotes, you guys know that, you could be directed to it immediately, or you could put in some sort of well, there actually is a filter up there, so maybe I just didn't utilize it correctly, because I don't know, because that's maybe only limited to class specific profile icons of champions and not the champions themselves. So I'll have to look further into it, but if they don't have it implemented to where you could immediately find your newest emote, maybe they could implement something like that so it's an easier time. But either way, we got it. There it is. We're rocking it. I did see some people rocking it as well. Obviously there were people that finished before me on day one. I was at work when I was doing it, so I had to play when I was able to play, and it took several hours. I don't even know. But anyway, there's the Nexus, and here's the 7-star Nexus. This one you get 5 choices, and again, I'm just looking for useful SIGs on rank 3s. Ultimately I end up going with my Werewolf by Night, who is rank 3, low SIG, so we end up going with him, and I did use him for that dust. So I think that was pretty helpful. I did not want to awaken Red Goblin. Yeah, it's just not a champion that I personally enjoy. But yeah, so there we go. Werewolf by Night. That was all right. That was pretty good. And then we're going to move over to the Titan Nexus. Again, I'm looking for Yelena, Spider-Woman, Jean Grey, Zola for the first time, and a dupe on Gallon. Now, the Awakening Gem is huge, because if I could get a science or skill, that way I could manually awaken Spider-Woman and or Yelena. I already have a mutant and a cosmic one, so worst case scenario, I give Jean the mutant or Gallon the cosmic, but I'm not looking for those, to be clear. Skill or science, and it's sandwiched in between 2 skills, gives me a mutant. That is 2 mutant gems I now have, which is unfortunate, but at least now I could use one on Betsy, so I guess that's something. So hopefully we get something here from the Nexus. I'm just kind of annoyed by that pull. And then I see Jean Grey at the end, and I'm like, man, I could have literally used the mutant gem I just got on her. So I'm happy I got her awakened, but like not like this, right? So it was like, man, I really wanted to awaken one of the others because I didn't get the gem for them, and then I could just awaken her and get her up to sig 20, like pretty much ASAP. So kind of unfortunate, but that's the RNG of things, guys. That's how that works. And I saw how close I was to another Titan, so I did some shopping. I did a little bit of shopping around, as they say, so you guys get a little special treat, because not too many people can open 3 Titans with these rewards, but I was so close, so I decided to do a little bit of shopping around because I love you guys. So hit the like button, guys. Help push this video through the algorithm, because you know I had to spend a little cheddar cheese, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. So anyway, when it's all said and done, we're gonna open up one more with a couple bonus crystals. Here you get a chance at a 7-star. These I'm about 50-50 on. Normally I'm pretty 50-50 on them, so I guess it was time for me to get the 6-star version of Jubilee there. Not really what I was looking for, but that's fine. We're gonna open up a 7-star, and then we're gonna open up the Titan itself as well. I'm not looking for anybody, guys. I just want meaningful SIGs on my rank 3 champions and or rank 4 champions. That's it for me. It's pretty straightforward. So we end up getting Sim Supreme. I don't even think that's a first time awakening. I don't think it is. He's all right champion. Maybe one day I'll take him up, but right now I don't have much use for him. So it's not a bad pull. I'm not mad at it. It's just not something that I'm interested in currently, but that's fine. And then we're going to open up the final crystal. Should be the Titan, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Again, you guys know what I want. So I think I end up tapping this after a couple of seconds. On the live stream, me tapping it was a W. Can I repeat that luck? No. They wanted to give me Red Hulk again, guys. I was beyond frustrated. I was so like, this is the point of my enlightenment of I'm done opening these damn things. So hopefully you guys like that. Please consider liking and subscribing. Continue helping us grow. You guys are awesome. Let me know your feedback on the video. Let me know if you're going in, if you're gonna wait, if my advice was useful. Yeah, just let me know so we can stay engaged, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.